All right, so Bitcoin just dumped, as you can see right here. Let me zoom out for you guys so you can see what's going on. This entire range. So we're just chopping around, and we finally had a big move down. Made it to one of these zones, and I'm watching the order book in Bookmap to see if it can give any insights. I'm waiting to be filled on a long right here at about 29 290.80, which is about right here, because you have a little bit of green buy volume in here that has not been tested. Looking just at the delta on the right hand side here, it does not look like buyers are able to step into the market and really make a dent. Because if buyers were really accumulating buying this, I feel like you'd see these numbers go down and you'd see some green. So I think we're definitely going to come back down here to see if there's still buyers. If we were eating away at these numbers in here, start forming some green, I'm thinking that the market would reverse a bit more harsh. But the fact that we're not able to eat away at this I think it's indicating that we have a little bit of downside short term to test the bottom, to see where those buyers are, to find those buyers. But we'll see. This is just a theory. I just started reading Orderflow, learning how to read Orderflow, so I'm making this as kind of a just to document. The CVD is going up here, but I mean volume in general has increased. The CVD doesn't give it can give insight into buyers and sellers, but it can't distinguish between if there's actually more aggressive buyers or sellers versus just a general uptake and participation in the market. And that's one of the things I've come to understand. So it's like you can have the CVD trending down, which could indicate that there's more sellers in the market, but it could also just indicate that there's just a lack of participation in the market in general. But so what I want to see to really get confident on this reversal is I want to start seeing some green in here in the delta. I do look at the order book, like the current COB, the current order book, but I also realize that after getting Bookmap, there's a lot of spoofing that goes on, and there's just a lot of fake orders. So really what I want to see is the delta, because this is like the CVP, this is giving me the volume of the current session. Or not the current session, but the current chart right now. So this is showing me the actual transactions that went through, the delta of the two. And as you can see, there's a lot of red here. I want to see some green in here before we actually reverse out of here. But it does look like sellers are dominating the market. And if we look here, yeah, kind of working in this range here. I want to see a wick down here, test, and then quick come back up. Okay, if we can wick down here and buyers step into the market, then I'd be looking to trade that. I don't know, maybe up to this range here. First take profit over here. We'll see how it goes. Because longs also got liquidated hardcore too. Big long liquidation. Yeah, that's about as on the size of this one over here. Yeah, so I think if we can get a long fill and trade it back up to the top of this range, maybe clear out some of these highs, that could be an interesting move. But we'll have to see how this develops, because I'm not sure. We could also just completely break down from here, and clear out all this liquidity down here. But we'll see how this goes. We'll see how the market handles this. Looks like we might be making in a bit of a dent here, but sellers still red. I want to see some positive delta in this section right here. Nice. We just got to flip a green here. Let's see if it can hold by about 2 Bitcoin, 4 Bitcoin now, 6. I still think we need to come back and test this area down here though. You can see all the selling that went down here. I'm curious if we need to come back down here too, but I'm not sure. But it's nice to see that we're starting to see some positive, some green here. I think though, one of the things people get caught up in is when you have these small ranges, especially on the minute chart, people like to buy in here, right? Buy in here, and they set their stop losses below or above. So when you actually do break out, you have liquidations. So I do think we come back down here. At least that's what I'm expecting. I think we got to test this. Why do we have to test it? I think we have to test it because to see if buyers are actually aggressive down here. Like, are people actually going to buy it up down here? Slowly eating away at the delta right here. A lot of Bitcoin on the books. Yeah, it looks like we're starting to make some movement. If we break out of this, then I'll probably move my limit back to this area here. Like if we break out, come back down, get a retest. One of the reasons why I wanted to record this is just for reference, so I can see how this order book looks. You know, to me right now, this looks pretty. It doesn't seem like there's that much volume here. It doesn't look like people are trading very much. Just from the speed of how the numbers are going, but maybe I could be wrong, you know. So hopefully this video could be good reference to myself to see what the order book looks like during this event. And again, it's like the current order book too. You can see there's like 400 Bitcoins in the order book here, but I like to look at the volume more because it's really easy to spoof the order book and put limits on the order book and then just remove them right away. There's a lot of algorithms and bots that do that. So actually seeing the volume that's transacted, that's the most important thing to me. Looks like temporarily here, sellers got aggressive. I wonder if we'll eat our way back into the 76. Okay, if we take away the 76 Bitcoin here, then I think that would be indicative that we're going to come down a bit lower to test the lower range here. But we'll see how this plays out, because if I'm being honest, I don't have too much experience reading the order book, so I'm just going by intuition right now, and I'm looking to develop that intuition more robustly. See how it's looking on Tradingview. Okay, yeah, we got a breakout right here, but we have some imbalance candles right here, so I wonder if we'll come back down into here. Starting to chip away at that the green here, the delta right here, 72 Bitcoin, but doesn't seem to be. Actually, I'm just gonna stop talking and just watch. There just really doesn't seem to be that much volume. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Buyers starting to chip away up here. Yeah, price is slowly climbing up out of here. Spot demand seems kind of abysmal though. So this is the spot market right here. Binance and Huobi. But you can see spot demand has decreased a little bit, while futures has been steadily rising. So I don't know what this means, but it's interesting how here had a rise in demand, but it fell. Yeah, I don't know what that means, but we're going to see how it plays out, because it looks like we are getting a breakout of here. I'm not confident yet to move my long up here yet. I want to see a little bit of a range form of some sort. I still have a feeling we're going to come back down here at some point. Just like intuition. Oh, someone's calling me. Okay, I'm back. Price gone up, it looks like. It really doesn't seem like we're eating away though at the delta that fast. It makes me hesitant that this move, at least right here, is real. But maybe I'm wrong. I guess that's why I'm recording this and documenting this, so I can compare this to future events. And then the fact that spot too, there's a divergence in spot and futures going on right now, which doesn't seem good, because I see like spot as organic demand, okay, and futures is like inflated because people pile on leverage and be degenerates, right? So if futures and spot are moving together, that shows like a strong trend in either direction. But if there's a divergence in spot and futures, that shows me that there could be incoming volatility. But whether or not that volatility is to the upside or the downside depends on like how much open interest there is and where shorts and longs are placed in the market. Because the market just moves towards most liquidity. So if the if the market makers can liquidate shorts, right, then they're gonna push the market up and liquidate those shorts before returning back to balance, which is when spot and futures are in balance. Okay, so we'll see what happens here. It's moving up pretty quick, but I don't know. I'm kind of mistrusting this move up. I do think we're gonna, maybe we come back up here, test it, and then make a move down. We'll see. Like also the fact that we didn't really come down here very much, which kind of reminds me of like maybe we'll get something like this, right? So you got to move up, then you come back down here for like a good long. Where's the volume in here? It's right here. Okay, yeah, you came back down here, or let's see. After this move here, okay, yeah, you had a breakout here and you came back down and tested the top of this structure, but you never. But even here, see, even after making that bottom here, you came back down here with a nice wick. We'll see what happens, okay? Because if we break out, then I might just move along to the middle of midpoint of this structure. Let's see how the book is looking. Futures is definitely increasing, starting to eat away at the top here. See how our open interest is looking. Open interest is increasing, of course. People piling on the longs, perhaps. Let's see what the funding rate is. Funding rate is negative. People are shorting the market. Let's see, 5 minutes. Seems to be positive basis. Positive. Yeah, well, we're breaking out of here, looks like. Would not want to long this though. Still very mistrusting of that rally. Maybe we come back up here before we reverse. How's the spot market looking? Buying is starting to pick up, which is good right here. So you got a nice bid down here too, around what is that, 29.50. So looks like this guy came in, moved out. So I'm going to keep my bid right here, my limit, because I do think we're going to flush down here. Very strong move to the upside right now, but it seems like it looks strong on the chart, but looking at the order flow, I'm still hesitant. But anyways, I'm going to stop recording now. We'll come look at this later. All right, guys, quick update. So price actually did move and make its way down below the structure that we were originally looking at. And I did get filled. It tapped in like exactly right there. So that's pretty remarkable. I don't know if that was just coincidence or if that's an example of how, if my analysis was just correct using Bookmap. But yeah, we got filled, came down up. I'm up 6% right now on this trade. So I'm going to move my stop to break even right here. Or I'll move my stop to about break even. And I'm going to stick to my original plan of trading it up to here. But I'll manage the trade and see how it goes, okay? I'm not sure if we need a little bit of a pullback. Let's see. Okay, open interest is increasing here. Let's see. With this move down, open interest did decrease. So I'm not sure if that's giving us any sort of signal at all. But here, let's take a closer look of what happened here. Okay, so structure. Let's see. How would you want to play out this structure? Okay, I'll do, since the lowest point of volume was right here, we'll use this as the selling climax. Yeah, so it looks like you had strong bounce out of here. Okay, just looking at the spot market, it does look like here, let's give this a second. Okay, yeah, so we're getting a good spot bid. Spot volume is increasing, which is good. If we go to futures, looks like futures volume is also increasing, although it's declining a little bit here. Okay, futures volume is increasing in the space here. So I'm curious how this played out. So you also had this huge bid that came in here. What is this? This is over 900 Bitcoins. It looks like they pulled liquidity right here. So I'm not sure what was going on here, but it was interesting how we come down here, we tap into this. I'm not sure how much of this they actually got filled. It looks like there was quite a lot of selling down here in this area, but it got bought back up and looks like there's something going on here. You also have huge liquidity down here. So we'll see how it goes. I'm going to move my stop to break even, and I'm going to play it to the upside. Yeah, I'm expecting all this stuff to get liquidated here. Yeah, planning for all these highs to get broken, potentially to a move up to here. We'll see how it goes. I'm not sure how much of a breakout we'll have though, but the general order flow seems to be the general volume seems to be trending down. Although if we look on other time frames, we're starting to get a bit of green here in the VDO, and some upwards price action. So yeah, kind of what I'm expecting is we chop around here, and at some point we have a short squeeze to the upside to liquidate all these highs. How high it will go, I am not sure right now, but some spots I'm looking for is obviously this area right here. If we look at the liquidity, that's right here. Okay, yeah, so that's our point of control right there. Let's see if we go all the way down to here, this low, our point of control is right here. So hopefully if we can get above our point of control, maybe we'll see a little bit of a squeeze to the upside. Otherwise, there's always the possibility that we chop around here and we just take out all this liquidity down here. But I would imagine if we do nuke, we probably won't even get a retest of something over here. I'd imagine we just make our way down to the top of this range right here before we actually see a real bounce. So we'll see how it plays out. Again, looking at Bookmap, we are getting a bit of futures volume here, but the most important thing to look at is the spot volume, and I really want to see the spot volume pick up here and take out this high right here. I really want to see some strength in the spot volume, but it is nice to see, at least on the VDO. The 1 minute chart is still looking pretty bearish, but the longer term charts are starting to flip bullish. And just looking at a 5 minute chart, interesting enough, if you look at this section over here during this accumulation phase, you had a sharp increase in volume right here before you had some green, okay, which can be seen right here, this green area. But we were still red. We slowly climbed out of this before we actually popped out. And I'm curious how this looks also on the longer time frames. Yeah, accumulation area, and then we didn't really see this green here until we popped out of here, right? So it is looking bullish to me, more bullish than bearish, but we'll see how it plays out, okay? It would be nice if we got a move up to this structure right here, you know? If maybe we have a short squeeze, have a move up here, chop around, come back down to retest some of this and before continuing higher. I'm not sure. I'm just happy my trade got filled, to be honest. All right, so some cool stuff has been happening in the market. So as you guys know, took a trade right here, got a super precise entry right there, and what happened played out. We did come up to mitigate or to take out all these highs, and we had a beautiful move to the upside here. So I took profit about at this level right here for a nice $14 trade. So this has been one of my best trades in terms of execution. Yeah, so I'm very happy that played out. And zooming in here, I wasn't awake when this price action happened, but you actually see a really good example of the type of setups I absolutely love playing to both the upside and the downside. But you had distribution happen here. Well, first of all, if you look at the spot market, on Bookmap, and here's that peak that I'm talking about right here. You can see clear divergence as distribution is forming here. And then if we go to the futures market, I'm watching the price action currently right now. I'm not sure if that divergence is as apparent, but here, let me zoom out here. Bookmaps, yeah, here it is. Okay, so you have it's a little bit more sideways here, but I love how the spot market will give you like clear signal into where demand really is, because you can see that there's absolutely no demand at the top here. It just fades away during that distribution event. So doing that, you could have called this out as distribution for what it is, right? And you can see the distribution play out beautifully right here, okay? With you have your buying climax right there. You have you could say that this right here is your automatic reaction, okay? You have a little bit of like a structure test right here. You have another UTAD right here. You never come back to test that right there. But even in this breakdown right here, you can see like how forceful that breakdown is. You get a beautiful retest back of the structure, and that would have been a perfect entry right at the bottom here. And then you set your stop, enter in right there. Of course, this is all hindsight right now, but the way I would have played this is entered right there, probably set my stop loss right above the high there, and then I would have targeted at minimum a retest of the structure, the larger structure at play here. Because when you're playing at I'm starting to understand when you're playing at the smaller time frames, you have to take into consider the larger structure at play right here. So you can see we're in this, even go to like a 30-minute. So this would have been like a 3-to-1 trade. At least first take profit at the structure level right here. And then we actually did come down to this mitigation zone right here, which is where I'm currently looking for a entry right here off the distribution event that's happening right here. So I think I'm going to get filled here. I got a super tight stop loss at the bottom here and looking to trade it up to the top of the structure, because it is looking bullish to me right now, at least short term, right? Maybe a better way to execute this would be we haven't taken out this high yet, but based off what's going on in here, this is looking bullish to me. I'm gonna have to look at the Bookmap to just better hone in what's going on here. But okay, basically, if we look at the longer term structure that's playing out here, okay, you have an accumulation zone right here. You have a breakout, and which is like a sign of strength. So ideally, we should get a move out of here, right? And at minimum, we get a move to like this line here. So we come here, we get a move to this line. So I'll probably take some off the table right here, first take profits. The worst case scenario is we come up here, nothing happens, and then we actually make our further move down, okay? And this was actually the liquidation event that got people excited, following into longs at the top here, and now the market is going to be going in the direction. But I do think we're getting a little bit of support here. It's nice to see a nice little wick there. On the smaller time frames, okay, you had a little bit of a distribution that is going on right here. So there's your selling climax, automatic reaction. So we are getting a retest of this, but I do think we're going to come down lower, because if we look at the volume, the volume is actually all up here. So this might actually be the spot to get an entry. So in Bookmap, okay, we did get a retest down here. So I want to see volume come in here. And if I do not get filled, okay, looks like I didn't get filled. We'll see how this happens, but I might actually just enter in, especially if we start taking out these highs. I might enter in for a scalp, at least up to here somewhere. Oh my God, that's a terrible color. Okay, let's see how it's looking on the Bookmap, Orderflow. We really want to see buyers step into the market here, because we did come down and we retested where all the volume was there. I should have thrown on a what is this called? Fixed volume range for here. Because if I saw that the volume was up here a bit more, then I would have made my entry a bit more clear. But I mean, we haven't come down to this line yet, so we'll see. Maybe we'll chop down in here. Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. I want to see in the order book, I want to start seeing some green here. If we start seeing some green here, then that might just be an easy scalp to the upside. But right now, it's still looking a little bit uncertain. I'm not seeing the volume, the buy volume that you'd want to see right here. And I'm specifically looking at the CVP right here. And this kind of looks like it's broke or something. Like, why isn't that moving at all? Is it moving in the spot? See? Excuse me. See, it's changing right here. Getting spot is bidding up right here, which is also very good. Price action's looking weak. You got a lot of liquidity coming up above. Like, you could see the bid that was placed here. It looks like it got eaten through. So what was that? See, that was 400 Bitcoin. Yeah, I think that just got eaten through. Starting to plateau there. How's spot looking? Spot is still bidding up higher, but we're starting to flatten out a little bit. Okay, we do see some bids coming in right here. Look at that. Beautiful bid right there. Good fill. And we are seeing some green in the delta. I might have to restart Bookmap because this does not seem to be moving very much. Okay, there we go. I think we're starting to get a movement breakout there. So got to retest. I might try to re-enter in this volume here, especially if we get a strong move up. If we get a strong move up, I'm going to move my entry to right here. Probably play it the way up, but we'll see how it goes because we can still come down here to really test the volume, fixed volume range. And this is why I love the fixed volume range. It really tells you everything you need to, it tells you everything you need to know about an area. Yeah, right there. I mean, if you take this entire area, you get your point of control right there. So I don't know, maybe we see a definitive breakout here and then we come back down in here to really test it before we continue on. That would be another crazy good entry, just like what happened right over here. You got that you got the wick down, or no, what am I talking about? This is, yeah, this right here was crazy, because you got the wick down right there, right? Forceful move up, okay, and then you actually come back up to mitigate some of this before making a move down back here, and then we got filled perfectly on these wicks right here, because we saw in the Bookmap, like, while most of the volume is contained, like up here, there was an area of support that needed to be tested. And I don't know, again, like, I don't know if that was just good execution and reading the order flow correctly, or if it just happened to be a coincidence that I called that. And I'm saying that because I just started reading order flow and just started like taking it seriously. So we'll see what happens. But okay, futures interest, CVD is starting to pop up. Spot is getting a good bid too. So that is a very good sign right now, at least for a short-term trade, in my opinion. We have all of this imbalance right here too. So like, see this gray candle? This can all be filled. And we'll probably come up to take out some of this right here. So I don't know. I'm kind of torn between, do I wait, just be patient and wait for the market to come to me down here, get filled before moving up, or do I FOMO in? And on this order block right here? Right now, I'm thinking I wait and I let the market come to me, because there's always going to be another entry. Okay, even if we come up here, right, it'll be interesting to see how the market reacts, especially if we get a forceful move and there's imbalances that are created just like this here in the market. Then you know you're gonna have another opportunity to go down. Okay, like similar to this right here. Okay, like you had a forceful move up, market eventually came down. You did retest this, so there's probably a lot of people that got filled on this right here, the second retest of the structure, but then they got taken out with this move down, you know, which got pushed out. But we'll see how it goes. And that's the thing too, also with trading these short time frames, is once price comes into a zone too, you don't necessarily want to just buy or sell, but you also want to watch the market and wait for Wyckoff. So like the market came down here, right, made a nasty 1 minute wick right here, and then you had a break of structure that came right here. The actual break of structure came right there, and from that data you could have put on this parallel channel and you could have seen the Wyckoff. Okay, you got your selling climax right here, automatic reaction, structure test, you got your sign of strength here, and then you just buy back on the retest of the structure, and that would have been a beautiful trade to the upside too. In this case though, I think if you're buying on the sign of strength, then it'd probably be best to put your stop somewhere in the middle point of the structure. So even that would have been a really good risk to reward ratio. And then in this case of this trade, so if we're entering right here, stop loss right here, and then in this case I was targeting all along the volume that was up in here, so from here to here, which is, yeah, leads you about there. So boom, and it absolutely blasted past that too. So big liquidation. It would be nice if I could have trailed it, like take profit and or at least started trailing here, but I probably would have gotten taken out in this move anyways, because you can see a lot of people sold right here. So if I was awake to catch this, like I could have possibly entered in another long right here. Let's see, because you have your selling climax right there. You come down right there. You have a little spring action right here. So I don't know. I don't know how to play these reaccumulation zones quite yet. It would have been cool if I was awake during this period, so I could have watched the book map to see how the order flow was looking. Because I think that would be the strat. Is if when you get these like really explosive moves up, I think it's probably key to watch the order flow, so you can see the see how the orders are coming in, see what the volume is looking like, and you can probably determine whether or not, okay, the rally's not looking good here, or the rally's starting to weaken right here, and we're getting distribution here on top of just the traditional Wyckoff TA. Because this would have been, like, once again, this would have been an absolutely beautiful short to the downside. That's like, this is like quintessential setup for me. And you could have gotten another entry. If you missed this, you could have gotten another entry right here, because you have selling climax right there. Or sorry, you got your buying climax right here. You got your automatic reaction. Okay, never get a structure test, but you do get a sign of weakness right here. And then you come back into the structure, right, to mitigate some of this volume here. And so if you do volume right here, I wonder where, yeah, your point of control is right there. Perfect, okay? That's another thing is, like, if I'm playing the top, right, if I'm trying to get like a super precise entry from the top, then usually I'll just get in at the bottom, right? I'll get in at the bottom. Or even better, if you can spot the UTAD that's on the microstructure and get in on the retest of the UTAD, which is right here, that wick. I don't know if you guys can make that, like this wick right here. That would have been an absolutely amazing entry. That would have been a legendary entry there. But if you can't do that, right, because after you have like a couple humps, you know, and you get the price action coming back up to mitigate some of these areas, like it's a little bit more difficult to get more precise entries, because you have shit like okay, so if you did the Wyckoff right here, right, and you entered in on the bottom, so you would have gotten in right here, and then you probably would have set your stop loss like at this high, right, and then you would have just got liquidated or taken out right there. So I think you got to watch the market. Okay, I don't know. Look at the volume, because where's the volume up here? Let's see, volume. Okay, yeah, the volume is all down here, and you never made it up. If you put in your entry right there, you would have never gotten a hit, or you would have never gotten filled. But okay, let's see how current price action is going. Let's check the spot market again. Spot is looking very good. Strong buying here. You can see we got a lot of green getting filled down here, which is really good. That's what I want to see, especially on the spot market, because spot is like organic demand to me. On the futures is going up, but futures is kind of degenerate anyways. So futures is like I look at the futures because futures is where most of the volume is traded. And I particularly look for divergences in the CVD. Like if the volume in futures is diverging from spot, like if spot volume is going down, right, which showing that there's like a lack of interest in the market, or sellers are more aggressive than buyers, but futures volume is going up, okay, that discrepancy tells me that there's going to be volatility, right, that there's an imbalance in the auction, and to expect volatility. But when both are moving together in tandem, then that is that shows me a strong trend. Okay, another thing is if futures volume, or if the spot volume is going up and futures volume is going down, that shows me that the market could potentially be offsides, and you could have like a pretty good short squeeze. But that's something I need to study a bit more. I need to see it play out live. These are a lot of these things that I'm talking about is just like theories or hypotheses that I have in my head, and just talking and making these video documentaries helps me to just think through my own thoughts. Okay, but still waiting for a move to the downside here. This may have been the entry right here on the retest of this structure. But so we'll see what happens there. But we could also be in a similar situation to this right here, where it's like, okay, you get your retest of the structure right here, right? But then you just come up to this volume, get rejected, and then you make another move down really to test. You basically make a double bottom. But we'll see what happens here, because on the futures, but I think what makes this time different than this time is I can't recall what the spot volume looked like in here, if there was like strong buying. I don't know if I pulled up the spot. I might have to rewatch that video to see what the spot order flow looked like during this period here. Because if the spot order flow was negative here and there was more sellers, if the delta was negative, then that makes sense why you'd have a double bottom to really test how aggressive the buyers are right here. But since we're seeing spot be very overwhelmingly positive here, you know, lots of buying action. Come on, Bookmap, load. Lots of buying action going in right here and right here. That tells me that this might actually be this might have been the actual key entry, the retest of the structure. So I'll watch the charts closely. If we get a definitive move out here, like if we get a break up to here, I think the play might be to get an entry on the retest of this volume right here. So the idea would be maybe we chop around here, we get a nice move to the upside right here, and then people start to FOMO in the longs, but then we get a correction back down here, which is where we'll get our entry to continue our way up, and then targeting the highs right here. Because I am short-term bullish right now. We'll see. Because another thing is I just have to manage my risk correctly. Okay, like it'd be good to take profit. Like if we come back down, it'd be good to take profit along the way here and move my stop accordingly, because the bearish scenario would be that you come up here, right? You actually mitigate some of the stuff in here before distributing again and then continuing downwards, because the long-term trend right now in the overall structure is still bearish. So it's being cognizant of that until we start clearing some highs here definitively. If we start clearing, so we cleared this high with this right here. If we start clearing this high, right, and these longer time frames start breaking structures, then that's when I'd be a bit more hesitant to what am I trying to say? That's when I can definitively be like, okay, the trend is very strong, very bullish. But at least right now, this is still looking bearish to me. The long-term trend, at least here on the 1 hour chart, is still looking bearish to me. But if you go to a daily trend or the daily chart, this is bullish, right? This is bullish, but with the possibility that we are witnessing the distribution, the top form right here, because these are distribution events right here, and this could also be a potentially a distribution event until it's not, you know, and that high gets cleared and the trend resumes up to I don't know, we'd probably make our way to this area right here, which is about 39k, if we can break this high. Yeah, so that's kind of the scenarios I'm looking for and how I'm playing it out on the short term. Long term, I'm looking for a retest back to this area right here. As you can see, the Wyckoff structure right here, right on the larger time frame. So this was your selling climax. I've done a lot. I've talked about this a lot, but you got your selling climax right there. You got your automatic reaction right here. Structure tests right here. You got your spring in here. Potentially spring test. I don't know. I think it makes more sense that this entire thing is just the spring, right? And then you have your sign of strength right here. What I'm looking for is a nice retest of this structure right here, bounce up. That is the most bullish thing that we could see. If we get a quick return back to this structure and we bounce right out of it, that would be super bullish to me, and I would expect that we take out this high. Otherwise, if we get a bounce up here and we come up and then we start to distribute, then that would be looking bearish to me. I'd be looking at least to a move to the center of the channel minimum, and then eventually a move down somewhere in here to fill like these imbalances. And we would absolutely need to accumulate in here, because if we don't accumulate in here and we actually distribute and we take out this low, then I would expect us to actually go and hit these 10k 11k targets. But just playing it level by level,
Otherwise, if we accumulate here and we get a move up, that would also be very bullish if we can break out of this structure, because then that would confirm that basically you had your spring here, and this would have been your spring test, right? In a sort of double bottom formation. But we'll see how it goes, guys. Let me look really quick on the shorter time frames, see how we're doing. Okay, getting a move down. How's the order book looking? Spot is still looking good. Futures is still looking pretty bearish. Like, there hasn't been a bid that's caught up here, so that's also very interesting. Looks like you also have a lot of liquidity that's come in here. Yeah, futures volume is flat. You had a lot of liquidity that came in here that got lifted. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but it's just something that we're seeing here play out. You also had this huge bid down here that is getting pulled, so we'll see how this plays out. I do think we're going to come back down here, right? And the fact that we have so much liquidity here down at the bottom shows that there could be potentially there's a bid to be had here, and there's real demand here. Another thing I want to look at is before this move up, what the accumulation was looking like here, at least on the futures market. And it looks like we did have a huge accumulation right here at there's a big bid of almost 600 Bitcoin, and I believe they got filled there. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure if they got filled. I wish there was a way to check to see, or a better way to see if like someone got filled. But another thing is like looking at the spot demand too and seeing what that looks like, because if there was large interest in spot, okay, come on Bookmap. So it doesn't really seem like there was much demand in this area at all, because you had a big bid there, but volume is going down. It's not until this point right here volume starts picking up. Okay, get that retest back down in here, right? And then you have a short squeeze. So who knows? Okay, maybe it's inaccurate for me to be bullish about this. Maybe, I don't know. Looking at the Bookmap has me rethinking my decisions to be bullish and take out these highs here. Maybe it's likely we just come down here, we come back up here, we distribute, and then continue our path down. I don't know. I'll have to see how it plays out in the market. Also noticing this right here. Let's see how this looks. Selling climax. Yeah, okay. It really depends also how we react at this level right here. Okay, I suspect we're definitely going to fill this imbalance, come up, get rejected off of this, okay? And we really want to see how we do here, because if we we want to start clearing out this liquidity. So, because that would indicate that this is like a spring and a retest of the larger structure, the larger Wyckoff structure that's in play. But if we make our way up here and we start bouncing around here and distributing, then I would fully expect us to make a move down. Not only that, but also take out some of these lows here and make our way back to the bottom of the channel. Yeah, if we start doing that, that could be a setup for a really big move to the downside, like just like something like down here, right? And then down here, I don't know, you'd probably get like a relief rally of some sort, right? And then we come back down to the top of this channel. I don't know. I'm just playing it level by level, guys. Documenting my thoughts, documenting my ideas. But I'm going to edit here. I'll probably start recording again if something else interesting pops up. Okay, just a quick update on this trade. As you guys know, I entered in about right about here at the top of this structure. Okay, so then we had some distribution and I got taken out because I had my stop loss right here. But I'm still playing it. I have re-entered. I'm trying to re-enter in right about there. You can see right here at the purple line. I'm looking to re-enter on this structure right here. And the reason why is because futures market, it's still stagnant. And so this could have been indicative of the move down. Is futures went flat here. I mean, futures is still pretty flat here. So maybe we do take out this low. We'll have to see. I'll have to see how it plays out. But the reason why I re-entered is because we actually started to get some bidding here on the futures market. Here, let me zoom into this structure here. So while it was completely red in here and there was no move in the volume order flow, the volume delta, there was no green. In this move down, we started getting some green. So we got some strong buying in the futures. Here we're making a move up, and also if we go to the spot market, there is a clear divergence here that's playing out. So you have a divergence, bullish divergence in the CVD, which is good to me. So and we have, again, some strong buying down here in the spot market. So I do think we're going to get a move up. I'm looking to be entered in right here. I want to see like a flush down here, make our way up. But if we end up breaking out of here, if we end up breaking up out of here, then I might try to recatch on the move down. Now that I'm looking at the chart, I'm a little hesitant on whether or not we're actually going to come take out this high right here. I don't know. I'm a little skeptical because this, the volume in general, I guess volume is picking up a little bit, but I guess what worries me is this could also just be a back test of this structure right here. So we come up into here and then we break down, and this was actually the liquidation event that's going to send us lower. So I'm a little hesitant. I'll have to see how it plays out, okay? But if we get a strong move out of here, right? We even break this high, maybe the move would be to long on the retest of the structure here, because I think if we have strong buying out of here, okay, and we break out of here, the strat I think would be maybe to retest long on the retest of the structure before going to take out this high. But we'll see how it goes. Okay, I want to see the spot volume continue to stay strong. I want to see the futures volume to also pick up and start eating through this. But we'll see how it goes. Place my trade right there, stop loss right below the low, targeting the highs. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, and I'll keep you guys updated.